What amount of money does it really take to be wealthy, or at least comfortable? For most people, the number they imagine is in the millions. They picture that dream life only being possible with yachts, sprawling homes, and bank accounts overflowing with zeros. But Kevin O'Leary, the entrepreneur and investor you know from Shark Tank, has a completely different perspective. And coming from someone with an estimated net worth of around $400 million, that perspective might surprise you. He's built his fortune through business ventures, smart investing, and a carefully cultivated personal brand. Yet despite his level of success, O'Leary doesn't preach that everyone needs to chase tens of millions to find freedom. Instead, he insists the number is far lower than most people believe. What really matters isn't the size of the pile, but the clarity you have about the life you actually want. Clarity is the key word here. What kind of lifestyle do you really value? What do you actually need to feel secure and fulfilled? Some people dream of designer cars, private jets, and endless shopping trips. Others crave something much simpler, a modest home that's paid off, no more worrying about the bills, and most importantly, time. Time to travel, time to spend with family, time to do work they actually enjoy, or no work at all. These two lifestyles come with very different price tags, and that's exactly why O'Leary emphasizes that financial independence isn't about some magic number, it's about alignment. He goes as far as to say that you can quit working and live comfortably with $500,000 in the bank, if you manage it wisely. Now at first that sounds unrealistic. How could $500,000 possibly be enough? But when you actually break down the math, it starts to click. Let's say you invest that money in safe fixed income products like bonds or high-yield savings. At a modest 5% return, you generate around $25,000 a year, completely passively. You're not touching the principal, just living off the returns. Now, if you're willing to take on a little more risk and move part of that money into stocks or ETFs, O'Leary points out that it's realistic to earn closer to 8 or 9% annually. That brings in between $42,000 and $45,000 a year. Again, that's without spending down the original $500,000. For someone living in New York City with a family of 4, sure, that number doesn't stretch very far, but for a single person or a couple in a more affordable place, it could absolutely cover the essentials. If your home is paid off and your lifestyle is modest, that income gives you stability without the grind. No, you're not flying first class every month, but you're not chained to a job you hate just to survive. And that right there is the point. Freedom. The moment your investments cover your living expenses, you stop trading time for money. You get your days back. And to most people, that's the real definition of wealth. Now, if you add in Social Security, the picture gets even better. On average, that's about $1,900 a month per person. For a couple, that's nearly $45,000 per year, on top of what your portfolio produces. Combine those two streams and suddenly your financial independence looks much more comfortable than you might have thought possible on $500,000. The reason this mindset matters is because so many people chase wealth for the wrong reasons. They assume happiness comes from stacking luxuries, cars, watches, the mansion on the hill. But when you peel it back, what they're actually chasing is freedom. The freedom to wake up when they want, do what they love, and spend time with the people who matter. And you don't need $10 million to make that happen. O'Leary is blunt about where most people go wrong. One of his most repeated warnings is, never invest in your brother's restaurant, your friend's bar, or that cousin's dream bowling alley. As he puts it, all that other crap is where money goes to die. And he's not exaggerating. Those small local businesses, especially in food and entertainment, have extremely high failure rates. They're expensive, unpredictable, and risky unless you're already an expert in that industry. If you want your money to last forever, you focus on capital preservation, not chasing excitement. The goal isn't to double your money overnight, it's to never run out. But here's something else to remember. While protecting your money is essential, it's not enough to just hold it steady. Inflation will eat away at your purchasing power year by year. That means the goal isn't simply earning 5 or even 9% returns. It's also ensuring that your portfolio grows enough to offset rising costs. Ideally, your principal should increase by at least 3% annually, so your income grows along with your expenses. That way, 10 years down the line, you're not stuck with the same income while everything around you costs more. And this is where boring becomes powerful. Because boring works. A balanced mix of fixed income and equities held for the long haul is one of the most reliable strategies to preserve and grow wealth. It doesn't give you bragging rights at parties. It doesn't go viral on social media. But it does give you what matters most: stability. The kind of stability that allows you to stop working when you want, not when you're forced to. A lot of people keep climbing, chasing bigger numbers, thinking there's no such thing as enough. But once you reach the point where your investments cover your lifestyle, you don't need to keep climbing. You can stop. You can shift into maintenance mode and focus on living instead of earning. The question isn't how much it takes to be wealthy, it's how much it takes to be enough. And that number will be different for everyone. For some, enough means peace and quiet, no debt, no alarm clock, and no boss. For others, it's being able to travel often, pursue projects they love, or simply buy what they need without checking their account balance first. The key is knowing your number. Once you figure that out, you can build a plan to reach it. And chances are, that number is smaller than you think. When you cut out mindless spending, downsize what you don't need, and stop chasing status symbols, you realize how far your money can actually go. Cooking at home instead of eating out, driving an older car instead of financing a new one, trimming the expenses that don't really add value. These aren't sacrifices, they're trade-offs that buy you freedom. And that's what this whole conversation is about. You don't need $10 million to live well. You don't even need 1 million. With $500,000 invested wisely, combined with something as steady as Social Security, many people could create the stability and freedom they've always wanted. Maybe that won't get you on the cover of Forbes, but it can give you something far more valuable: the chance to wake up every day on your own terms. And if that isn't wealth, what is? Thanks for watching InvestingFlix, where smart money learns smarter moves. Subscribe for more insights that grow your wealth.